is to reflect on an issue that's geometric. In fact, the issue is reflections. So it's sort of fun, sort of appropriate. So let's reflect on reflections. A reflection is really nothing more than when we have a particular geometric object and a line, and we sort of imagine the line being like a hinge, and we take the geometric object and sort of turn it over along that line hinge onto the other side. So look, for example, at these two images here. So these are two objects, and the question is one a reflection of the other? Well, actually, in this case, the answer is yes, and you can see that line upon which the reflection is taking place. If I were to take this object right here and turn it to this side, imagine that's being like a hinge, you see that it would match up perfectly onto here. These two objects would then be congruent. So what we actually see is that these two actually are reflections of one another. So there's this line where we can actually reflect, and we actually see this isometry. All right, so let's take a look at this example. Are these two objects reflections of one another? Well, the answer is no, because if we actually try to, let's say, reflect along this line, we see that when we reflect, this sort of rectangular thing jutting out would actually not correspond to the triangular thing jutting out here. If we try to reflect this way, maybe, well, it doesn't even make sense. So no matter how we try to sort of put a possible reflection, we never see these things actually match up at all. So in fact, these two objects are not reflections of one another. Reflections, when we have sort of like a mirror symmetry, if you will.